Hey guys, another one that people were asking about is number 5, so I thought I would walk through that one as well. So for number 5, they're telling us find the graph, or which of the following is an equation of a curve that intersects at right angles every curve of this family for every real value k. So to intersect at right angles means that the slopes are opposite reciprocals of each other, right? So if we can find the slope of this function, so if y equals x squared plus k, the derivative is going to be 2x. So the slope for at any x value is going to be 2x, which means if I want a perpendicular slope, that's going to be the opposite reciprocal of that, right? So I need to figure out which of these functions has a derivative of that looks like this, because then it'll be perpendicular to this curve everywhere, because no matter what, if you plug in x, you're going to get an opposite reciprocal value for your slope. So we need to figure out which of these graphs have the derivative that looks like this. Or said another way, we could actually take the antiderivative of this and sort of figure out which of these functions would match that. So let's take a look at that. If we wanted the antiderivative, so basically if I'm saying, this is a derivative, so I'll call it g prime, is negative 1 over 2x. I'm essentially asking, well, what would g of x be? What would g of x be? Let me move that up a little bit. Okay, that would yield this derivative. So if I rewrite that, it might be easier to look at it like this. Negative 1/2 times 1 over x. Because when we go to do our antiderivative, the only part we're really worried about is this part. This is just a constant. So that's going to come along for the ride. That's still g prime. Sorry, I just rewrote it. I need to find g of x. So that's going to be negative 1/2, and then the antiderivative of 1 over x. Well, the antiderivative of 1 over x is the natural log of x, right, plus some constant. But when we go to do this derivative, the constant is just going to go to 0 anyway. So we just have to figure out which of the following is an equation of a curve that can have that capability. So we need to find something that looks like this. And it looks like it's d, negative 1/2 ln x. And that's the only one that would have that derivative. You might be wondering, I did use the absolute value because I didn't know for sure. I had to check. But this particular version of the function, right, y equals negative 1/2 ln x. If you go to take the derivative, you're going to get the same thing, right? The derivative of this is going to be negative 1/2 times the derivative of natural log of x, of course, is 1 over x. And sure enough, we've got the exact slopes that we need to match up. Okay, so this has a little bit of everything in it. You could technically have just taken since it's multiple choice, take the derivative of each one of these one by one, and then see if you end up getting this, formula for the slope that would have made it perpendicular. All right, so hopefully that helps. Be sure and let me know if you have any further questions on this one, and I will hopefully talk to you guys soon. See ya.